The mighty Emachine. Good day. Today we got the mighty Emachine. Hoping to change the meaning of that E. Remember these being hailed as the last computer you'll ever need. And I remember a lot of people that I knew actually had these. I remember seeing them a lot. I also remember that they were just full of crap. I mean, like, just so much adware and bloatware and whateverware. Friggin' silverware. Underwear. Just too much wear. But, I picked this one up with a few other computers that I had bought at a garage sale. And I never really, when they came out, never really got a chance to, learn much about them or what they were, what they had in them or whatever. I think at the time I wasn't even really that interested in the specs of computers and such things. But tinkering around with this, I was kind of surprised. This was like kind of the computer version of a crossover. They were trying to, at this time, really, in the early 2000s, really start pushing people to the 64-bit architecture. Well, at the same time, the computers would come installed with Windows XP. And, because that's what everybody was used to. Now, this one was Windows Vista certified. It was a certified Vista system. Boy, they, if they only knew. I don't think they probably would have listed it as such. But the point being with that was that, where that was the next operating system, that it was already set up to take that operating system. Now, it came with a Intel Pentium 4 524 at 3.06 gigahertz. It had a ATI Radeon Express 200 chipset in it. Had a it was a LGA 775 socket, which hey, awesome. But it also L2 cache, 1 megabyte. What else we got here? I'm just going over some quick specs. Just everybody kind of basically knows all about these, and but this one only has, I believe, like a gig of RAM, and it's DDR SD RAM at 400 megahertz. The installed is 512 actually. Max support is 2, but I think there is a gig of RAM in this. I'm not totally positive, but we will see. But it came with a 160 gig hard drive. What else? A whole bunch of card readers, blah blah blah. All the regular mumbo jumbo. But for the most part, though, this was a pretty rip-roaring machine when it first came out. It was, graphically and everything ready to go on to the next stage. So, with all that being said, let's see how she looks. Let's see here. Woohoo! Little dusty. Now this one I have done some minor things to when I first got them. This one obviously needs a good dusting, I would say. But I put another hard drive in it for extra storage, which I was just basically using it as a, just to store overflow and make room on the everyday drives for things that, otherwise don't get watched on a regular basis. Box sets, crap like that. But I do like the way that this is kind of set up, how it kind of unscrews. They always got some new special way of doing this crap. But, and yeah, I believe there's two 512 sticks. So there is a gig of RAM in here. And that's about it. I mean, there's nothing real special in there. I got internets. But yeah, let's give her a cleaning and then we'll fire her up. Sheesh. Alright, now when I got this, I didn't do any updates, plug it in, do any of that, like to the internet. I just strictly took the crap that was all all the dumb media players and just stupid crap that people download because they don't know what they're doing. And then after all that, I turned around and just began to just see what I could install and put in there without having to do any sort of updates or anything. Now, I forgot to mention earlier, it does take a graphics card. It'll take any type of newer graphics card or anything. But I was kind of surprised that it, like, take this for instance, Unreal. Now, I had read about how the ATI Radeon built-in Radeon 200 whatever built-in had glide support and all this, and I didn't really, I just kind of didn't really even pay attention to it. And then screwing around, I was plugging in a graphics card that I had recently got. And I noticed it was all herky-jerky. And when I unplugged it, it was all nice and smooth. And like the fire, I don't know if you like, everything had the water also. And all of this without doing any sort of updates or anything. Just straight out of the box. Not telling me, oh, you need to update to DirectX, blah, blah, blah. Nope. None of that. So, then of course we put in stuff like, Duke Nukem, all that. I mean, obviously, let's see here. and of course, I mean, obviously this thing was ready for, you know, Windows Vista, so it's going to run, you know, all sorts of games. Obviously, whatever spec-wise, but running the stuff that it does right out of the box without having to do any updates, I don't know, it was just like, okay, cool. So let's just keep it that way. So then, a game that is notoriously like shitty and hard to optimize or whatever, no matter what you know, even the systems that it goes on, and that's Interstate 76 has just always been known to be really fussy, and this happened. I know there's probably a lot of people thinking, big deal. But this game, like, every other computer, even newer ones, this game can be a pain in the ass. There's always something that won't be right, that you have to screw with. I've just very rarely had it just work out of the box. And I mean, you know. Dun, dun, dun. I admit, it's pretty badass cinematic too for its time. Until it worked him out.
Look, I don't have time for this crap.
Oh shit. Yeah. Of course, we got the emulators that work. We got Sega, Super Nintendo, I found the Game Boy Advanced emulator was a little herky-jerky, but that's an old emulator. Gex, some awesome click and play, some Loom. Obviously, we got some Scum hooked up. So yeah, and the Nitro Pack, Interstate 76 Nitro Pack. So to summarize, at the end of the day, we just got a 4 gig machine. I got, I think, a gig in it. It's got 64-bit architecture, so there's that. The built-in graphics have the whole glide shit. And now, again, this is just, all I've done is take the majority of the crap out of it and put a few things in it to see how it ran. I'm open to some suggestions. I was thinking of playing with some Linux distributions, maybe doing something maybe as a some sort of neat media server, whether it be emulation or whatnot. But I like the I think it's got a nice sleek look, old school retro new type stuff. But yeah, I'm open to any ideas, or if anybody, because like I said, it's kind of a neat little machine. It's kind of like a what in a lot of ways, but especially when you can compare it to, you know, how they do things now or whatever. This was like one of them crossover machines, and so its specs are a little oddly laid out, in my opinion. But anyway, if you're into this sort of thing, we'll be making all sorts of vids. I have a few of these. Like I said, not this exact machine, but a few different, all sorts of stuff to play with and rip apart and put back together and do all sorts of fun stuff with. So anybody any ideas? I'll see you on the next one. I think we're gonna do I think I got a compact that is pretty snazzy, almost brand new out of the box type deal. So maybe we'll check that out. Till then, have a great day.